July 27th, 2022. It was 5:50 in the evening when police in Bogalusa, Louisiana received a call reporting a shooting. They'd respond to a home on Superior Ave with a blue Corvette parked in the driveway, along with a man who'd been shot and critically injured. He'd be treated on scene before being transported by EMS to the nearest hospital, as officers learned there was another man who'd been shot and had already been driven to the emergency room. Word quickly spread to social media Louisiana rapper Jaydayoungan was in critical condition, and the only status given by sources close to the family was that he wasn't breathing. An hour after he'd been shot, officers would respond to a second shooting, locating a vehicle that had been damaged by gunfire, but they didn't find any actual victims. Investigators believe the two shootings may be connected, and it may have been retaliation, but details were not released. Rumors Jaydayoungan died would quickly spread, only to be shut down by his sister and brother. A family source would say he lost a lot of blood and was rushed into emergency surgery as fans, family, and friends hoped and prayed. But before midnight, 24-year-old Jaydayoungan, whose real name was Javorius Scott, would die from his wounds. After midnight, Bogalusa police would officially declare Jaydayoungan deceased and identify the second shooting victim as his father, Kenyatta Scott Sr. Say Cheese would take to Instagram alleging there'd been a gunfight in the parking lot of the hospital, but no actual news source or law enforcement agency have reported on it. To make a bad situation even worse, Jaydayoungan was shot in front of his mother's house, and multiple pictures posted to social media show his mother and other relatives posing in front of the home. A quick internet search would reveal multiple family members are registered to the address, so it wouldn't be hard for someone trying to find out Jay's whereabouts. But the biggest giveaway that Jay was there was his blue Corvette, which can be seen in multiple pictures and videos and eerily resembles young Dolph's Corvette, which was also left at the scene of his shooting death. Why Jay would feel safe parking in front of the house that's located on a main street is unknown. According to court documents, Jaydayoungan listed his father's address as his own residence, and interestingly enough, his father was also very well known to police. Come to find out, 44-year-old Kenyatta Scott is a registered sex offender after a 2010 conviction for forcible rape. In 2016, he'd be arrested again and charged with another rape on top of kidnapping and 2 counts of sexual battery, but he'd beat that second case. Back in 2021, he'd be featured on the local news after another arrest warrant was issued on charges of forcible rape and oral sexual battery. A raid of his house would lead to multiple drug charges after 58 grams of meth, almost a kilo of marijuana, 529 ecstasy tablets, multiple scales, ammunition, and magazines were found within the home. It was alleged he'd raped a juvenile and was trafficking drugs to juveniles. And for this, he remains free on bond and can be seen wearing his ankle monitor on his Instagram, to which he flexes with his Gucci sneakers. It can be assumed Jaydayoungan was the target of this attack based off his notoriety as a rapper, but the fact that his father was also shot leaves the question of, was his father the intended target, and did it have anything to do with his charges against juveniles, or the fact that he was a drug dealer? But then again, Jay spoke on violence in his music and had even been tied into a fatal shooting and charged with accessory to murder after a female was shot during an event in Roseland, Louisiana. Those that opposed him are already speaking out about his death in celebration, and I'm sure those that cared for him are in a state of shock as the reality that he's gone at the age of 24 is setting in. Jaydayoungan leaves behind a young son who has his father's music to remember him by. Now, I wasn't planning on doing any video for a little bit. If y'all been following me on Instagram, 1090_Jake, y'all know I just got my teeth done. I got temporary veneers in my mouth right now. I just got them put in. My gums are all beat up. I'm still getting used to talking with the veneers. I can hit the little Kodak, yeah, all that. But, you know, obviously during this process, I wasn't gonna do any videos until I get the real set put in. But hearing what happened, I don't want to disappoint y'all, so I'm willing to come on camera in a way that I normally wouldn't feel comfortable, just because I know how hard y'all rocking with me and y'all want to hear it from me. Y'all want to know what information I can bring forth and my opinion on the situation. Do I think that the shooting was caused by his father, that his father was the target? Most likely not, but it was interesting to hear his father's background and everything surrounding his own situation. Do I feel that Jaydayoungan was the target? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm honestly surprised that he was in his hometown driving a Corvette that he posted to Instagram. I mean, he's in multiple videos with it. I'm surprised by him lacking like that. Because usually the only people that do stuff like that, right? And there's a lot of people that do. The only people that take pictures in the cars that they drive and things of that nature are the ones that really aren't beefing with anyone. They don't have a reason to do that. Or they might be beefing with people in another state. And I'm not gonna list his ops. I'm not gonna do that. He already passed away, so I'm not really trying to incite that. But he was famously beefing with people that weren't in his area, especially out of Florida, because of who he chose to align with. So if he felt he was that safe, I can post a picture here and I can show him in this. That house was literally on a main street. Anybody driving by could have seen the Corvette, made a call, and now them boys coming through and hitting anything that's outside. You know what I mean? It's a fucked up reality. People gotta wake up. This is a very fast life. You know, there's a lot of females, I want somebody from the hood, and then they're shocked when they get killed. The life expectancy of living this type of lifestyle, especially as a rapper, a shooter, a drug dealer, whatever, the life expectancy isn't that fucking high. And even if you live long, usually what saves a lot of these people is prison. They go to prison for 10, 15, 20 years and survive in there while all their friends die on the street and get killed. You know what I mean? And to be only 24 years old and leaving behind a 2, 3-year-old little boy, it's sad. A lot of things with my own perspective changed when I became a father, because you're no longer living for you. At least that's what you're supposed to be living like. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fathers that still live solely for them and don't care about their kids. But if you look into Jaydayoungan, he was with his son a lot, posted videos with him, everything, having fun. You can tell that there was a bond there, which makes it that much sadder, because now that bond has been broken. And that's the thing, at least for me, that really keeps me from not wanting to do things, is knowing that I'm jeopardizing my freedom. I'd be jeopardizing my time with my daughter, being able to watch her grow up. And it ain't that I'm worried about specifically punishing somebody, but everybody that I'm affecting after that. That's what people don't think about. You know, when you die, like he just died, it isn't just him. You just affected his entire family. You know what I mean? This is a traumatic thing, a murder. This isn't some simple shit. Everybody in his family right now is traumatized, especially that little boy. It's gonna affect him for the rest of his life. You're doing a lot of damage that you don't initially think about when you make a quick decision that alters lives forever, including yours. Because something like this, you go and do something like that, boom, you might get killed. Boom, you might get locked up for the rest of your fucking life. We don't know who did it at this point. We don't know if they're gonna get caught or not. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But all I know is another young rapper was just killed, and we get to see the cycle of violence. People are already dissing him, another son without a father, and we just wait until the next rapper. But let me know y'all's thoughts and opinions, and if there's any GoFundMe, let me know. I'm sure the funds are gonna be going to the funeral services, but also for his little boy. I don't know if he was so successful that everyone in his family is set for life, since the house he was shot in front of is only worth like $100,000, not even. His father's house, another shitty house, like, You know, people be thinking these rappers be having millions and millions and they're in the trenches because they want to be, when really they spend all the money on chains and cars and still live in the fucking trenches. That's the biggest difference, and that's why a lot of them end up in situations like this. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. Till next time.